The Western Federation of Miners had called strikes in Utah, some of which had even resulted in pitched battles between labor and strikebreakers. The atmosphere during Joe's trial was tense. To Joe's credit, he tried to keep the IWW out of the discussion of the trial, but it was continually dragged to the forefront. In an article to the socialist newspaper Appeal to Reason, Hill wrote, "Owing to the prominence of Mr. Morrison, there had to be a scapegoat, and the undersigned being, as they thought, a friendless tramp, a Swede, and worst of all, an IWW, had no right to live anyway, and was therefore duly selected to be the scapegoat." After appeals and an outpouring of support from Helen Keller and even President Woodrow Wilson to not have Joe Hill executed, Joe was eventually sentenced to be executed by a firing squad. Prior to his execution, Joe wrote to founding member of the IWW, Big Bill Haywood, who incidentally is also from Utah. Well, is from Utah. "Goodbye, Bill. I die like a true rebel. Don't waste time mourning. Organize." And there was also a PS to this message, which I'm sure some people here will appreciate. "It is 100 miles from here to Wyoming. Could you arrange to have my body hauled to the state line to be buried? I don't want to be caught dead in Utah." Bill wrote back, "Goodbye, Joe. You will live long in the hearts of the working class. Your songs will be sung wherever the workers toil, urging them to organize." At 10 p.m. the night before Joe's execution, Joe passed his last will through the bars of his cell to a guard. It read, My will is easy to decide, for there is nothing to divide. My kin don't need to fuss and moan. Moss does not cling to a rolling stone. My body, oh, if I could choose, I would to ashes it reduce, and let the merry breezes blow my dust to where some flowers grow. Perhaps some fading flower then would come to life and bloom again. This is my last and final will. Good luck to all of you. That's basically it. I kind of wanted us to sing a song at the end of this. Who wants to sing a song? Everybody raise your hand. Everyone wants to sing a song.
Okay. Like one volunteer or something?
Okay, this is a call and response song, right? So we're going to do this a cappella. So basically the chorus goes like this. You will eat by and by. And then right after that you guys say by and by, right? Okay, so you will eat
by and by.
Okay. In that glorious land above the sky, and then you guys say way up high.
Way up high.
Okay. Work and pray, live on hay, you'll get a pie in the sky when you die. And then you say, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
That's a lie.
Okay, so let's do a practice one. You will eat by and by in that glorious land above the sky. Work and pray, live on hay, you'll get a pie in the sky when you die.
That's a lie.
Thank you. All right, let's do this thing. All right, long-haired preachers come out every night, try to tell you what's wrong and what's right. But when asked how about something to eat, well, they will answer in voices so sweet. You will eat
by and by
in that glorious land above the sky.
Way up high.
Work and pray, live on hay, you'll get a pie in the sky when you die.
That's a lie.
And the Starvation Army they play, and they sing and they clap and they pray, till they get all your coin on the drum. Then they'll tell you when you're on the bum. You will eat
by and by
in that glorious land above the sky.
Way high.
Work and pray, live on hay, you'll get a pie in the sky when you die.
That's a lie.
Working men of all countries unite. Side by side we for freedom will fight. When the world and its wealth we have gained, to the grafters we'll sing this refrain. And the last verse is different, so you don't need to do this one. You will eat by and by when you've learned how to cook and how to fry. Chop some wood, it'll do you good, and you'll eat in the sweet by and by. That's all right. Thank you.
Any discussion of Joe Hill?
Well, just a quick comment. I read, well, I didn't quite finish it, but about 3/4 of a biography of Joe Hill about a month ago. And there was, for a long time, kind of this conspiracy that the Mormon Church had him executed. There's some conspiracy amongst leaders of the Mormon Church to have him executed. And so a lot of people that were advocating for Joe Hill, IWWs, etc., they were kind of promoting that idea. And it's just not true. Like, the judge was not a Mormon. Most people on the jury that convicted him, they weren't Mormon. The prosecutors weren't Mormon. So that kind of flew around for a long time that, it was the Mormon Church that killed him, but it's just not accurate. So I don't know if you had read
Great.
anything about that. But.
I would just point out Walter Benjamin's thesis on the philosophy of history basically makes a strong claim that we should always keep in mind. It's we don't make revolutionary struggles on the sort of notion that we're going to have a really good future. It's to preserve the memory of our ancestors, such as Joe Hill, as revolutionary comrades. And if we fail to do that, then people like Joe Hill get lost in the tides of history, and they get forgotten, and their struggles were ultimately for nothing. So,
Yeah, and just to add on to that, I was going to end with a quote from Che Guevara that says, "I don't care if I fall as long as someone else picks up my gun and keeps on shooting." I think that's why it's important to remember people like Joe Hill, people like Che Guevara.
any other concluding thoughts?